Bear's here. Prairie Bro is here. Rockin' in Kentucky is here. Hi, guys. Oh, my hair's a mess. There's so much going on. I don't even know where to start. I honestly thought about making a list just to be sure that I don't miss anything today. It's insane today. We got the Shrine o' Trevin back here celebrating our track star with his track number and his medals that he won. We've got I'm gonna mute that. We've got robotics and speech and debate, and then his graduation board with pictures all the way from baby pictures all the way up to high school pictures, senior pictures and stuff on it. So that was a lot of fun. We'll start out with some feel-good stuff, of course, before we dive right into the rocks and say good morning or hello or afternoon to everybody. Oh, the coffee is so fresh and so hot that I just don't know if I can sip it just yet. Here, you blow on it. Give it a blow. There we go. What's that? Andrew loves my cup? Steinkern, Andrew. And Ryan, welcome. We're admiring my Ozone Fine Art Ventures cup this morning, or afternoon, if it's that where you are watching from. So yes, showing off my merch today. If you don't have a Karen cup, Steinkern, says the bear. If you don't have a Karen cup, go get you one. The best part of waking up is drinking out of your Karen cup. So yeah, there's that. Let's see. Yeah, there's graduation. There was a fireball over Montana. We're going to talk about that a little bit later and how insane that's driving me right now, as we speak. And what are Dorodango Balls? Some Meteor-maybes that my uncle sent me. Hey, moi. So that kind of sums up, I think. Oh, and some tumbles. I got some tumbles that finished last week, and we didn't meet last week because I was getting graduation stuff. So we've got like 2 weeks worth of stuff to talk about. We got to get after it. We got to get right into it. One more sip out of my Karen cup, though. Okay, let's start with Dorodango Balls. What are Dorodango Balls? Let's start with what are they? Did anybody look into what they are? Did anybody read the thumbnail and Google what is a Dorodango ball? Does anybody know? Waiting for reply in the chat. Fake answers only or real answers only? Fair mix of both if you are so inclined. Andrew has no idea. Ryan says no. What do they look like to you, Andrew and Ryan? I mean, other than balls. Melissa says, It's a mud ball. It is a mud ball, brother. It's a mud ball. Yeah, no resin. It is Dorodango is a Japanese art of polishing a mud ball. Exactly like Prairie Bro said there. Let's see. Let's move things around in this mess. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner, says the bear. I wonder how is the best way to look at these. I think probably this way so that I can make hand motions, which are probably going to require comment in the chat, I'm sure. You literally, let me grab some starts. A start of a Dorodango, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. You start with getting some dirt. Get some dirt out of your yard. Get some dirt from the gravel road. Get some dirt from a place you like to rock hound. You know, the edge of a stream or something. I don't know. And what you're going to do with your dirt is you're going to run it through a sifter. And you're going to get fine dirt and kind of a little bit coarser dirt. And you're going to make a mud ball out of your fine dirt. Yes, you make them, moi. And it's actually quite a long process. And so when people sell Dorodango balls on the internet, they're quite pricey usually. So you'll start with your dirt, and you want to make a like cookie dough kind of texture and get it kind of shaped like a ball. And just so you guys know, I didn't actually make these. My significant other Joseph did. And so if I skip a step or embellish things just a little, so don't take me word for word, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, you're going to make a little mud ball. And I think he used a cup and the bottom of a cup or the inside of a cup to help get it roundish. Finally, a use for that flour sifter, says Ryan. Yes, Ryan, it's not uncommon for kitchen things to become rock things and for rock things to become kitchen things and vice versa. I finally decided I better just... oh, balls, says that opal guy. I decided I finally better just like dedicate a strainer to rock hounding stuff because I was dirtying up my good kitchen strainers. And I was like, yes, finally, like I'm washing a lot of grit and rock tumbling junk through. I probably better. So, yeah, Opal Guy says, hit that like, everybody. My kitchen is all rock things. No, it's not. So, you want to sift your dirt and you want to make a mud ball out of the thinnest stuff and then get it as round as you can. And then you're going to start to pick up some of this coarser stuff and like sprinkle it over the top. And it's going to stick because it's quite muddy. And then rub. And like some of it's going to fall off, but you're going to do it again. You're going to grab some coarser stuff. You're going to sprinkle it on and you're going to rub it. It does look like an ostrich egg, doesn't it, moi? And you keep doing that until your ball gets pretty dry. And then you just continually rub. The more you rub, the more it heats the outside and makes the moisture want to come out. And so it literally takes, like 3 days or more. We accidentally dropped this one in the making. These are the first 2 he's ever made. And he's already got a couple more in the making. And he says that he's getting down better how to make them round. And my juvenile, don't even try to behave, Opal Guy, just go for it. So this one, he'd sprinkled a little bit of like a red dirt on the outside. You can see where the red dirt has rubbed off a little bit, that the inside of this ball is fairly similar in color to this one that doesn't have the red dirt rubbed on it. I thought the same thing. Petrified ostrich egg or something like that, says the bear. Colanders for rock cleaning, yes. Anyway, fascinating, right? Definitely, like I say, old Japanese art of polishing mud balls. So yeah, I have ideas. I'm like, what if you, in your final, the stuff you sprinkle, what if you put like really fine ground gypsum in there? Would your ball be sparkly? What if? So my mind is going a million miles an hour. I absolutely love these things. They feel just really cool in your hand. And the more you rub them, the more shiny they get. So you want to rub them lots, get them good and shiny. And there's something kind of therapeutic about that. When he rubs it, by the way, he eventually goes to a cloth and even into like a piece of silk. The smoother the things he rubs them with, the shinier they get. So with the addition of nitroglycerin, make them problematic. Also, I have that powder that you add to your resin or your, it's not resin, but the stuff you pour. It's the 2-part mix. You mix it up in it, and then you pour it, whatever. Okay, so there's a super fine powder that you can add to that to make it, like I used it to make my table glow in the dark. And you can use, like, there's different colors and things. And I said, what about rubbing some of that powder, epoxy? There's pigments you use to tint your epoxy. And I wonder if those pigments rubbed into the outside of your ball would be really kind of neat. And you could have a UV glow-in-the-dark ball. That might be kind of fun. Glitter would be cool. Would it change its properties? I don't know, right? Hey, John, we're talking about Dorodango Balls. That's a new one for me, but I'm absolutely love at first sight. I love these things. There will be more. There will be more balls to polish. So yeah, simply a polished mud ball. Polished dirt. Anyway, so that's project number 1. Crush UV rocks to powder and sparkle. Exactly, Ryan, right? My significant other was talking about taking all the grit out of my little saw and sifting out the big parts and using some of my saw grit. Making it glow in the dark would be extra fun, wouldn't it, Opal Guy? Yeah, I totally agree. So, lots of ideas about the balls. So many ideas about the balls. I can't wait for more balls in the future. And cheers to you. Everybody stay hydrated. Oz, how are you, my man? So, I drove everybody in the meteorite community absolutely insane yesterday because there was a fall. And it was caught on some cameras really near me. A meteorite fall, I mean. And so, hey, thanks, Oz. Yes, make some coffee, moi, and then, look up how to make a Dorodango ball and decide if you want to commit 3 days of your life to polishing a mud ball or not. Anyway, so there was a meteorite fall here. Okay, I'm excited. I didn't actually catch it on my camera. My significant other's camera caught it, and it just lit the sky up. We didn't actually catch the ball. We just caught the light. Okay, so this event obviously happened south of me, right? And Oz, pitch in at any time. If you got any comments on that might be helpful, let me know. So, it went somewhere to the south of me. And I'm absolutely hoping that, there's my kid. Such a handsome guy. I'm absolutely hoping that this thing went from west to east and landed out in the prairie somewhere. I'm like, please, 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 please. Of course, I go into like action overload. I'm like, anybody know how we could, where could it's such a promising video. And then one of the first comments was that I got back was from my friend Ben, and he's like, fragmentation right before dark flight, time to put boots on the ground, which I couldn't agree more. Like when I watched the first video of it, I was like, oh boy, that looks like a rocks on the ground kind of event. Let me see if I can. Up here, you see it break into several pieces and then kind of vanish off into the clouds. Okay, like I say, that looks like it's a rocks on the ground kind of event. So I messaged some of my friends, and like I say, they're like, yeah, that's probably worth pursuing. And So the first thing I do is check the American Meteor Society. Actually, let me go back so you guys know how to do this too. Can I go back one setting? Okay, so I Google American Meteor Society. And rather than clicking the blue link like you normally would, I want to come down here and click Fireball Logs. Also, Opal Guy, there's an all-sky Skycam in Kalispell, Montana at the Montana Learning Center. And so I wondered immediately if they had caught it, and it took them until today to share their video, but they did catch it, and it's beautiful. By the way, the video we just watched is in black and white. All of the other video, including the 2 still pictures that I caught on our cameras, are all like magnificently blue-green. This thing was very bright blue-green. So we clicked Fireball Logs, and I was needing to click the pending reports earlier, which let's do that really quick, because the reports hadn't actually gone through yet. And so these are the reports that are pending. This is what a pending report looks like. And if you want to see more about that report, you need to click this little eyeball over here. And then it tells you lots more about it. The location, any kind of remarks that they have. Did they, where were they? Which direction were they facing? And if you'll look, you get a degree. And this is all in France. It looks French, it looks like. I'm sorry about that. And then it'll give you which direction after that degree. Let's see if we can find one that's in English. Was that in English and I'm just out of my mind? Here's one in English for sure. Okay, so this is in California. Let's see. There. So you get a degree that they were looking. Sorry, my fingernails are dirty. We'll get into that in a minute. It's a feel-good story. So you get a degree that they were looking, and then did it come in from left to right or right to left? Did they hear a sound? And any other remarks, things like that. Yeah, this is my old phone. Sorry, Opal Guy. I just wanted to go through that. So that's a pending report. So it takes a while for these reports to go from pending. I'm going to go back to go from pending into the Fireball log, which let's click that now, because now all of this information that I took out of the pending report now has an event date and number. So we can see this was reported from Alberta to Idaho to Montana to Nevada to Oregon to Utah and Washington. It was witnessed over 2 time zones, and it had 56 reports. And now we click that report. It takes us in here, and we can see where all of the reports were made. And if we pinch zoom on that map, oh, this is the wrong fall. Sorry, let me go back. It's hard to run this backwards and showing you guys. Fireball sightings. Okay, so but in the meantime, while this loads and I get back to where I was, I'm taking all of this information. This person who made this report was pointed 85 degrees. So now I have to stop and think about my compass for just a second. Where is 85 degrees? That's like east-northeast. And if the meteorite from their perspective, when they were in this town facing east-northeast, went from top right to bottom left, it means that it was moving from east to west. So I'm literally over here doing this, all of this by hand and trying to keep track. Here's my event. This is the event that was caught on security cameras. My security camera included. Sorry, I'm trying to get the glare to go away. That's all the people that witnessed it. So now we're going to pinch zoom in. Now that all of this data has been collected, now it's done it all for me. And it turns out it wasn't quite moving so much east to west as it was moving east to it was moving like southeast to northwest. It almost went up into Canada. And now that we've got this information too, this is a little bit of a bummer because there's a high likelihood that this thing landed in Glacier National Park, or even worse yet would be the reservation just over here. If the line is just a little bit skewed this way or that way, it's in like the most mountainy part of Montana that you could possibly imagine. Yeah, there's no happy ending in this story yet. Brothers check the radar data, and the radars come through every 2 minutes, and the meteor happened to come through the gap right between the 2 minutes gap, and so it's not on any kind of radar data. There were some sonic booms reported with this event, and they were in like the Three Forks area, and so if we take that as a good starting point, it still just puts it right there in like Glacier National Park. I mean, if you're lucky, maybe just outside of, but I've got a lot more digging to do before I hop in my car and go looking for this thing. And so that is the kind of meteorite hunter that I am. I sit here and passively wait for something to fall near me that's huntable. That really, really looks like it put rocks on the ground. Do they check the aviation radar data? No, Ryan. Prairie brother, can you check aviation radar data? Can you just go ahead, or Ryan, can you check? Anybody? No, this is all kind of up to me, right? Like, and so I've checked some other sites and talked to some other people. Hey, Jeff, there you are. Welcome. We just got done discussing Dorodango Balls. Polished mud ball, polished clay ball, mud ball. There's Joseph now. Joseph, we're admiring your polished balls. We love them. And cheers to you, Jeff and Joseph. Steinkern, what's in your mug today? So, it's not over till it's over. It's not over till the fat lady sings. I'm still very much distracted by this. I'm still trying to get all of the data that I can together, and maybe, just maybe, it looks like a promising fall. You can see it fragment into clearly like 3 or 4 different pieces before it enters dark flight. There's so much that goes into a donga what? Dorodango ball. Dorodango. It's the ancient Japanese art of polishing mud balls, clay balls. You know, and NOAA weather satellite got it. Go find that footage. Help out, Opal guy. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Good to see you. That Opal guy. Help out, my man. So, yeah, I mean, I'm still trying everything I can. Good morning or afternoon, Jennifer. You're going to need a meteorite mobile? Yeah. Everybody, let's go. Let's put some boots on the ground and find this thing. It looks really promising. But could have went into Canada, could be on a reservation, could be in a national park. Yeah, it's driving me insane. So, but in the meantime, why are my fingers so dirty? We've noticed that. I washed too, I promise I did. Here's your feel-good story, guys. We had talked about the boys pulling their senior prank this year. And their idea, in case you missed it, bocce balls. Bocce's a fun one, moi. You couldn't probably use those as bocce balls. They feel kind of like that in your hand, but if you bocceed them together, you might crack them. So, not bocce balls. They kind of look like billiard balls, too. Why are my fingernails dirty? Actually, no. It's because I was helping my kids tear apart a car last night. So, the kids, for their senior prank, they wanted to tear apart their buddy's car. Get it to, I gotta find a charger. Get it down to as much of a shell of a car as they possibly can. And move that shell of a car into the history room. And apparently their history teacher has a special hatred for this car. So it's their final farewell. And like I say, they want to disassemble a car, put it in the history room, and right? I love it too. I fully support this. So they got to work on it really big time last night. I was helping out. That's why I'm filthy. Like I say, I washed, believe it or not. But yeah, it was just a riot up there too. Hanging out with them while they're tearing this car apart. They're freaking hilarious. Like, they crack me up all the time anyway, but like, they were just on a roll and having a ball and just absolutely hilarious with each other. Let's see. So they got quite a ways, by the way. Gosh, there are so many pictures. Okay. They got quite a ways on this project last night. They got the engine completely tore out and the front tires and everything pulled off. I wish that we could, here, let me just shut this off while we do this really quick. Okay. And they got a lot of the windows pulled out. Am I going the right way now, I wonder? Yeah. They got a lot of the windows and stuff pulled out of it. So the lighter they can get it, there's my kid wearing a plastic bag. Now I've spilled the beans. Yeah, but to you guys, what are you guys going to do about it? The leg is killing John. Sorry, John. Here they got the window out. Look at that classic shot. Oh my God. I'm telling you guys, these guys are characters. They had me just absolutely rolling on the floor all night long. Here's my kid riding the motor. He says to me, "Hey mama, take a picture of me riding this thing like a horse." Or like a bull or whatever he said. Yeah, chances are slim. Like I say, they got him down here working on all of this. And in the meantime, they've got guys, 3 guys up in the car too, just gutting the inside of that thing, pulling seats and upholstery and windows and door panels and everything out of it that they can. There, I think we're back to where we started. For sure we are. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for them. So they're going to get it down to as much, like I say, as light as they can so that they can carry it into the building and into the history room. And if that means they have to sawzall it in half and just kind of like set it in there, that's what they'll do. They want to use, and I don't know how this is going to work either. They've got so much work to do in such a little bit of time, but they pounded out a huge bit of that work last night, got it done. And I mean, they're almost there. And so it was just the guys last night and they were a riot, but it's the entire class tonight. They've got the girls coming too. So they hope to get like everything done and be ready to go. How do they access the school in the off hours? I see a janitor's firing in the future, says the Opal guy. No, they leave the building open after school hours because they've still got track practice. And so they may be missing some track practice and loitering around in the building for just a moment after track is over. So, but like I say, they hope to have this so ready by the end of tonight that they can literally just a few guys, and you saw all the guys in there, they're motivated. You saw it, like I say, there were like 3 of them up in the car too that you can't really see in a lot of those pictures who are up in there doing a lot of work as well. So they had, I mean, a handful of guys last night in that they were short a few guys and the rest of the class. So they hope to have it stripped down enough that they can literally just pick it up and carry it in. It'll take just a few minutes. They're going to set it right on, roll the tire in, put it on the tire. Oh, totally agree. Or like there's an old, and the Meteor-maybe crew pointed it out to me that there's an old Andy Griffith show where Andy disassembles and reassembles a car inside of a building, and they were like, and then Topher Spin Meteorites, Topher says that one of his favorite 80s shows, they put homeboy's car in the dorm room. He's all freaking out about it. Nobody's in on it, Opal guy. None of the teachers are gonna get a hashing over this, or coaches or anybody. So hopefully they're just in and out. Very little disturbance. Like I say, if they have to chop it into 4 pieces to get it in a fast manner and without damaging anything, they'll chop it. So Goober does it. That's right. Goober. Yeah, Goober builds I can't remember what the title of the clip is, but you can look up just the clip on YouTube and it's great. And yeah, the Johnny Cash song, one piece at a time. They'll carry it in 1 piece at a time, just like ants. And then they all put their piece together and they get the heck out. Oh, I think you're right, Gomer. He put a car in the sheriff's office. Yes, John, that's the one. And Andrew says he remembers that episode. So, I was up helping him last night. I mean, there's things that I'm definitely capable of doing. I was pulling out, there was a little like windshield washer tank that I pulled out and like door panels and stuff. And I was showing some of the other kids, here's get after this. This is how you do this. So, and then they were just off, man. After that, after they got started, there was very little stopping them. So, oh my goodness. I'm excited for them. I am excited for them. So it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. All this graduation excitement and stuff. I'm still just like, oh yeah, I'd love to be cutting rocks and doing things. And I'm still just like busy. I did cut a rock actually the other day though, because curiosity killed the cat. Ryan, pulling it apart, putting it back together needs a little more skill than I have. Yeah, they're being less than tactful with it. They're like, oh, that'll come out of there. Just get the Sawzall. It was one of the kids' cars, and he blew it up. He comments, I took a lot of video, and he comments like, so much black smoke. And my kid and my ex-husband were asking, well, do you want to pull this apart and find out why it was, what you did? Did you throw a rod? And he's like, no, just there was black smoke. It was a lot of black smoke. That's all we need to know. So yeah, they're totally over it. And it's not a put it back together when we're done kind of job. It's like, we are done with it. We are done. If you use explosives, exactly, Opal guy. Yeah, angle grinders and skill sawzalls, and you can take lots of stuff apart real fast when you don't have to put it back together when you're done. Yeah, Andrew, I'm excited for them. I did spill the beans. We had family here from out of town, and I had a cousin from Helena sitting at the table, and my dad, who lives down in Missoula, was sitting there too, and then one local lady, and she happens to be quite a bit older. She's old enough to be my grandma. And so I actually had 2 of my cousins from Helena. My other cousin from Helena, she says, speech. And I'm going to warn you guys now, this is plug your ears if you don't like to hear bad things. But my oldest guy who's in speech and debate, we see his picture there of him doing that. And she was too, so she really loves that he was in speech and debate. And she had followed him around and been to some of his things and even done some judging at some of his stuff. And have an ID as well. Doesn't that engine have an ID as well? Yeah, we have a junkyard up by the shop where all the dead cars go to die. So, yeah, reassembling would be difficult, yeah. Anyway, so she's all, speech as he's standing here at this table. And he says, okay, fine. And he gets all ready. Let's see here. He goes, love is like a fart. If you have to force it, it might be shit. And this gal sitting here, this older gal, she just lost it. She laughed so hard. And I'm telling this little small group of people what their senior prank plan is. And she's like, oh my God, he totally deserves it, referring to his history teacher. And she's like, if they get in any trouble or you need any bail money, you just let me know. I'd be more than happy to finance their bail. And I was like, the community supports you guys. Like, they don't know they do, but it, like the few little whispers, they're like, yes, yes. At first I was like, is it totally irresponsible to fully support this? But then I was like, nah. They were good kids. They spent 12 years in this school, and they're doing everything that they can to make sure that this is an enjoyable thing. Like, they're going to take this down to the car wash tonight and make sure that there aren't any dead bugs or fluids that are going to leak out on the floor and stuff. Like, and that's the reason why they're pulling window panels and door panels out rather than smashing them out, is because we don't want a bunch of broken glass between here and there, you know. So they're doing this right. They're doing a good job, you know. Hopefully it, and like they say, we want our history teacher to laugh about this, not cry about this. So, oh, yeah, love stinks, says Opal Guy in regards to Trevin's speech. Yeah, yeah. So it's just been a whirlwind, absolute freaking whirlwind of a couple of weeks, you guys. It's been wild. New rock things. Oh, so the rocks. My uncle sent some rocks. I did cut one out of curiosity, and I'm off work in 20 minutes. You still be going? I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Same teacher I had. I don't know. Is it? You'll have to ask the boys. I'm not going to say his name here. Anyway, yeah. Rufo says also don't forget to hit that like button, everybody. So, my uncle sent some Meteor-maybes. I have some rocks out of the tumblers, so I think it is time after we hydrate and have a Steinkern, a cheers with each other here, that we can turn everybody around and we'll have a look at some rocks. Mm-hmm. Good, Rufo. Good to see you. Yeah, glad you're popping in. And we can chat. I mean, things have been busy, so I haven't chatted with a lot of everybody, honestly. But yeah, definitely, we can chat here soon. So, let's turn around and look at some rocks. I mean, yeah, like I say, it's just been crazy over here. I love it. I love it. However, I'm kind of ready to just kind of get back to normal after this for just a minute. You know, just 'cause. I have things I'd like to do. Let's see, do we want to do Meteor-maybes first? Or actually, let's come back to that because I'm apt to get on a tangent over that. So let's just look at tumbles first. I'm still pulling over. I know I've seen that, Opal Guy. I've seen your videos. They're great, though. Oh, Oz is laughing. Put your balls away, everyone. Yeah. Everyone go try to make a Dorodango ball. Everybody, you know, forfeit 3 days of your life to polishing a mud ball. I want to see your results. Put your results in the Discord. Ouch, pinched me. All right, let's see. Paradoxical moment when we all look at my hand or at the comment or... Oh! Try not to end the live. There we go. You're in like Flynn. Are we plugged in, I wonder? Can we run the overhead light here? No. No, but we can bring this one around a little. Oh, and I know better than to run this light. Let me go shut that off really quick. In the meantime, there's something to look at. Boom. That light's gotta go. Gots to go. Gots to go. Excuse me. Oh, that's much more better. I would still really like to be running this light. Let's see about it. Plug it in. It's really not that difficult, I don't think. Oh, I think that looks okay on my screen. Hopefully everybody kind of agrees. All right, where do we start? With this ugly piece? It's not ugly. And we could have even a little more. Zoomy zoom. So these come out of, I got a new ball on Saturday, says Oz. Really, Oz? Oh, yeah. I bet yours is lots cooler than. See, and we talked to Oz about rubbing some, like, you know, meteorite saw dust on the outside of our balls and being like, that's the largest, you know, ball of Martian ever. Even though, like, it's just the outside that's Martian. Or the biggest lunar ball. Or the name of this stuff is... It's a pink and the green. I can't remember. Anyway, there's one piece out of... This all comes out of the Nat Geo tumbler, which, in my opinion, tumbles rocks a little tough. A little rough and tough. Some of this, like this, probably wasn't really the greatest candidate to be tumbled in the first place. I mean, it didn't take a great polish here either. Unikite, thank you, Jennifer. But, you know, I mean, you got to try to find out sometimes. This is that stuff that I always call my favorite rock. Any slabs of that? Which one, brother? The Unikite, the pink one? No, it was a rock I found. So probably not slabs of a lot of this. There is slabs of this. Yes, there is slabs of this. Here's another piece of this. Like I say, I really like this material. Yep, thanks for stopping in on your lunch, Joseph. Those small, fast tumblers really need to have less rocks and a lot of media for pre and polish steps, it seems. Yeah, Ryan. And again, I'm not so super picky, so I just like let her rip, tater chip. I just roll with it, let it go. But it does, I think, sometimes bruise my rocks more than the tumblebee does. Piece of quartz. It's pretty though. Nice pink. Took a nice polish. It's probably one that brother cut. He tends to kind of like those rocks a little more than me. Unikite. It's Unikite. Thank you, Jennifer. We find a lot of that out here. I usually don't keep it, but look, this was a pretty spastastic piece, so of course I had to keep it and even tumble it. Thanks, Ryan. What's next? Here's one that, I mean, a little chert. Is it a chert? It didn't polish very shiny. But I liked his, like, you know, eggshell color. And what's next? Here's one that obviously took a beating and didn't turn out very well. Excuse me. But that's okay. That happens sometimes. Sometimes because I'm not overly selective about the stuff that I load into my tumbler. Sometimes the results may vary and I get what I put in. If I put crap in, that's what I get out. Kind of a weirdo, huh? I liked him. Liked him because he's kind of spastastic. So I like these pieces. Again, this is that stuff that I like. It UVs, it's great stuff. This could have maybe not gone through. Like, again, I put crap in, I get crap out. But that's, I mean, it didn't turn out bad. It just, maybe I shouldn't have ran something quite so brittle. There's just kind of an ordinary rock. You know, it was kind of agate-y. So went ahead and ran it. Oh, good. Brother got his tumbler rolling again. Yes, spastastic. That's right, Bear. I like them kind of spazzy. Again, just kind of ordinary. This one's pretty. I wish it would have polished better. There was some like almost body stuff happening right there. And again, you know, don't be afraid to tumble your bot. It will stay, but it's kind of, it just could have tumbled better through the rest of right there. And then there's this big crack in the back. But if we ignore that, the rest of this rock is actually really pretty. Some focus would be good. I'm not real sure what it is. A jasper or, I don't know, something, shirt or something. Here's a petwood. I think it was a petwood that is kind of rough around the edges a little right here. Agatized petwood. Yeah. I like some of the characters still in the rock when done. Yeah, me too. It doesn't bother me as much. You know, like I say, if I were super particular, like trying to win a rock tumbling competition or something, these are some of the things that you might try to avoid. I like the way that this, my favorite rock, takes like 2 different polishes. How there's some of that that's like super high gloss and some of it it's kind of low gloss. Hey, Chris. How's it going? Glad you joined us. You've missed a lot. We really discussed balls a lot today. You have to go back and check out the balls discussion. Decide if you like playing with balls enough to do it for 3 days straight or not. Yeah, and here's just like a neat little, I liked his shape, right? Like, he's got a cute little shape. He didn't get overly shiny, but I liked his little shape. What next? Again, just kind of a regular old rock. This one was kind of neat. Again, not overly shiny, but kind of different. It always surprises me when people look through my tumbled rocks and they're like, "Ooh, a white one. White's my favorite." And I'm like, really? Really? And then it's like, you know, but they are pretty. The white ones are pretty. In fact, I tumbled some more like whiter colored rocks just because the little gal I had helping me the other day She liked some of the white rocks. Hey, Josh. So I try to just like give a little bit of everything, like that black and gray one, because you never know. Somebody might look through all of the rocks and be like, yeah, that black one's my favorite. This was a chunk of Brothers Agate. Little end chunk. We got lots of little pieces out of it, but I decided to go ahead and tumble the end for him, for us, for him. If he wants it, he can have it. It's done tumbling, brother. Little red guy. Took a nice polish. She's kind of pretty. I like really different stuff from her. I like ones that look like the sky or Jupiter space rocks. So do I. There's a nice piece of pet wood. Look, finally one turned out nice. Oh, maybe. Like I say, that Nat Geo tumbler's a little rough. Excuse my sniffle. There's a nice piece, though. Got that nice, like, almost tiger eye kind of pattern on the side. Excuse me again. I need to take a drink out of my Karen cup. Ooh, I love this one. Love this one. Yeah, we can agree on that one, brother. That's good. I prefer more of like the yellows and stuff, personally. Yellows, reds. Ooh, look how pretty that is. There's another yellow one. Yellow. Looks like a little jelly bean. Do not suggest you eat this little bean, but it kind of looks like a little piece of candy. Another kind of yellowy colored one. Moving through them pretty quick. Here's a little blue-gray one. Super hard candy. You're rock candy, baby. Oh, look, that one's got a little druzy heart pocket in it. Aw, so cute. Uh-oh, Opal Guy's caught ya. He said someone here hasn't hit the like button yet. Yeah, I like the blues too. You boys. You're my boy, Blue. That's a little cutie though, isn't it? Let's see. Here's kind of a... What is that? I don't know, but it's sure to get smooth. So smooth I can barely hang on to it. And I've saved a whole crap bunch of moonstone. There's some other stuff here too. Like, oh my gosh. Look at that. Is that a jasper? Yep, sure is. Not petwood. Look at that jasper. And here's one more, like, that one probably actually is a little agatized petwood. Or at least, at the very least, a little dark little prairie agate. Okay, so I saved like a whole bunch of these moonstones for last here. So let's get flashed, everybody. Everybody ready to get flashed? Look at the little guy first. There's his flash. Boom. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Should we blur that little spot there so nobody gets flashed? The little black bar. Yeah, don't get flashed. Don't look, Ethel! It's too late. She done been flashed. Oh, the whole side of that one. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's it, Opal guy. Yeah, me too. I'm that old as well. Isn't that a pretty piece? Yeah, we were raised on the old Ray Stevens as well, guys. All right. Here's another piece that's been through the tumbler. There's a little flash on the end up here. Let's see if we can do better. Oof, lots of flash on that end up there. That whole top, look at it shine. Oh my goodness. That's a pretty one. Shine almost every side of that one. Yeah. Definitely. That's a little mooner flashing the crap out of us right now. And this one I thought was really interesting. It's got all kinds of actually I don't know, sparkly mica bits. They've got to be harder than mica though, because it's made it through the tumble. I think it was Ethel. Ethel, don't look, Ethel. Too late. She done been mooned. Oh, and it's pretty too. Like the actual rock is pretty. But yeah, that one's got like straight up stuff in it. Like sparkly, silvery looking stuff. Sorry, I know it's a little left screen heavy because that's where I can see around the face. Well, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret about me. I have an app on my phone, a karaoke app called Smule, and I sing a little Ray Stevens on my karaoke app every once in a while, and I've shanghaied brother into doing it with me. Like we did the Mississippi Squirrel Revival. Oh my gosh, so funny. And I've done some others by myself, but okay, so that was the most of the rocks, but you guys know I always keep a few for me. And these are my keep for me ones. I actually don't usually pick that many keep for me rocks. Usually I try to limit it to like 1 or 2. And I'm surprised that there were actually that many keep for me rocks out of that, since I complained that that tumbler's quite rough on my stuff. Is that focusing? Yes, it is. Oh, it's so slick I can't keep a hold of it. I'm trying to show you this side of it. It's so slickery. Ah, pretty. Pretty, pretty stuff. This one's cool. Nice little agate. The dog just woke up from a nap. She's snoring over there. She woke herself up. You know, maybe I do like a white rock, huh? It's not quite white, though. It's very pretty, though. I love that, like, creamy color. I love it. Love it. I saved me a moonstone. This one isn't necessarily the flashiest of moonstones, but I had done some work on it by hand before I threw it in the tumbler to get it, like, especially round and smooth. And I liked the way that this one turned out. So I kept it for me. This one I had actually higher hopes for. I'm not actually thrilled with how this turned out on this side. It's all fractured and stuff, and I kind of hoped it would turn out a little smoother. Even though it didn't really meet my expectations, I kind of can't let it go yet. Like, I almost want to throw it in the tumbler, like maybe even cut it first and throw it in the tumbler one more time. And I don't know why. It's not even that special of a rock, but there's some things that happen inside my head. Here's a teeny tiny one. I had to keep it because it has an eye in it. Just a little shirt jelly bean with an eyeball in it. I actually don't know what this is. Is this a pet wood? Is this just some kind of like banded jasper? It's a, hard, chalcedony sort of material either way around, but I'm just not sure what it is. So I had to keep that one. Here's another like creamy colored, not quite white. Yeah, but it's more like, it's more almost agate than that though, Bear. It's like chalcedony. Anyway, I like the little bean. And two more rocks that I kept for me. Here's another tiny one. I fell in love with these spots. I like these spots. And last but not least, the colors on this one just knocked my socks off. The oranges, the reds, the yellows. A little better focus there wouldn't hurt, but it's okay. Oh my goodness, talk about a pretty rock. Awesome. Way to go, Rufo, you made it. You're halfway through the week now, officially. Oh, I love this piece. Man, the prairie puts out. It's got some pretty rocks. They're no Yellowstone rocks. They're no Kentucky agates. They're nothing, but for real, like, just for, out my back door, I found some pretty rocks. I'm pretty happy about it. Okay, let's move on to the rocks that my uncle sent. And I'm quite confused by these. I'm assuming that these he sent because they're Meteor-maybes. I'm just assuming that. I tried to ask and our conversation got very confusing very quickly. And so I had to kind of let it be for just a second. All right. What do you guys think about these? And I'll be right back. You're confused, LOL. I'm going to go fill up my Karen cup. None of the messages made sense. It was like we were talking about two different things in the messages. So carry on and I'll tell you yes, my Karen cup. Aaron, I know it's out of focus, but yes, Ozone Fine Art Ventures, Steinkern. And there's a little Steinkern fossil right there. Ooh, backwards and hard to do. Okay, so it's obviously empty, so I gotta go fill it up. You guys have a look at these. And don't be shy. Let me know what you think in the comment. If you have anything you want to say about these. Or if you have anything you want to say about my Karen cup, go ahead and say that now too. Oh my goodness, that's so delicious. So delicious. Do I have a magnet handy? Because that would be a really good thing to have right now. Yeah, we do have one. Okay. Okay, well, brother can't spell, but we can sound out what he's trying to say. And don't feel bad, brother. I can't spell either. I'm definitely not giving you a hard time. Looks like they would hurt you if you got hit by one. Sure, okay. And let's see. This one passes the magnet test. Magnet sticks. That one passes the magnet test. Magnet sticks. Barely. Wants to kind of slide around. Even slide off. But it passes. And there was the third specimen, which I actually did cut, which really passes the magnet test. It's quite sticky. Not the stickiest I've ever felt. I'm going to put one of mine into the mix as well. Here's another one that I found that's very sticky. In fact, it's quite hard to pull that magnet off of that rock. So we got this one that's like, super barely sticky, and mine that is really, really sticky. But they have kind of a similar look. Mine's got a flat surface, but that's not natural. Let's go with this one too. Let's compare. They're similar, right? This one's This one, if any of them are kind of different. And here's this one for comparison as well. Everyone go put your magnet in the gutter. Check in 1 year for meteorite fragments that fell into your roof and washed down. And Bear says, I don't know what they are. Well, me neither. Visually, I say they're not meteorites. And let's talk about why I say that visually. Because not always is the exterior of a rock a really great representation of what the inside of the rock looks like, right? So, I mean, basically the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. So we're going to try to not do that, but we are going to, that's our first look, is at the cover of this book. All right, let's start with this one, because I have a big problem with this one right off the bat, as far as if it's a meteorite or meteor wrong. And that's this linear line all the way across this meteor wrong rock, whatever we want to call it. All of these pores and vesicles, no good. No good for meteorites. And honestly, to me, the surface just doesn't quite look right. Okay, but yeah, this whole like extreme line. Hey, Wyo, welcome to the chat. Of difference between one half of this rock and the other is a good indication that no, not a meteorite. Again, all these little vesicles and air bubbles and things, gas bubbles and things in here say no. Yeah, not quite the right texture, not quite the right color, not quite the right feel, tactile feel for me to say meteorite. Again, all these little teeny tiny holes and pores, just not quite right. So there's my initial look at this one, why I say probably an earth rock and not a meteorite. This one, same kind of issues I'm having with this one is all these little pores and vesicles. I mean, what is that red color in there? We don't often find a lot of red on the exterior of our meteorites. There's kind of a brown color over here. So pitty and pory. Like if you really wanted to use your imagination, you might say, look at that little contraction crack right there. That looks like a meteorite, but it's not a contraction crack, right? It's not. Yeah, just it's hard for me to even use my imagination to make this be a meteorite in my mind. Okay, but let's talk about the next one really quick. This one. It's starting out really super similar to the other ones if I don't, point out the obvious. Okay, let's use our imagination and say that this is flow lines. Do you see those flow lines? But if those are flow lines, where's the orientation on this piece? It's not oriented. So we can scratch that off as maybe being flow lines because it's not matched with an orientation. Lots of bubbles and holes. I mean, it looks metally though, doesn't it? So I was having a hard time. I mean, my knee-jerk reaction is no, absolutely no. No, 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 and no. And I'm like, but, I mean, I could be wrong. We could all be wrong. We're wrong all the time. And it feels right until you realize you're wrong. So I went and cut this one. And as soon as I cut it, I went, oh, Now hold on a minute. Look at all that metal in there. This actually could be a meteorite. So for a minute, my heart skipped a beat. And I said, oh my gosh, I might have been wrong. Oh my gosh, this could be an iron meteorite. And I actually, without giving it a whole lot more thought than that, took the larger side of this and tried an acid etch test on it. And as it was in the acid, as I was washing it with acid and checking it and looking at it, and I'd excessively acided it, I finally just stuck it in the acid and walked away for 20 minutes and came back. And as I was doing acid on this, meteorite, I was like, I know better. Okay, I know better. Again, this is just, I want you guys to go through this thought process with me. I'm like, I know better. This is not a meteorite. And the reason why I know that, metal. The reason why I know that is, again, look at all the vesicles and holes in here. And while, yes, it looks metally and reflective and shiny, let's ask ourselves together one question. Does it look like the bumper of my truck? Does it look like the bumper on your car? Does it look like a chrome tire rim? I mean, does it look like... Not quite. Like, it's just kind of too black, isn't it? So I did go through the tests with this, though. I did try to etch that one side. It obviously didn't etch, even despite all of the saw blade marks and stuff. We should have been able to see that, and it didn't etch. And again, it's just not quite the right kind color. Is it graphite? I don't know. Is it natural native iron? I don't know. So that's where I fail there, is to determine what it is after that. I know it's not a meteorite. I actually have a piece of Roundup right here, which is, if you're going to get an ugly iron meteorite, like the ugliest of ugly, this is it. This is a 3AB iron. This is as generic as they get. This is etched 3AB iron on this side. You can see the light color metal in there. Some of it is more dark. And that's the difference between the taenite, kamacite, and nickel in this iron meteorite. This is not etched. This is just cut. And if you look at it just right, you can even see the saw blade marks on that. And this side is cut and etched. Again, you get that difference between the light and the dark colored metals. And the outside of this piece looks very metally. Again, though, there are absolutely no pits or pores or holes or anything in this. And it's shiny like a bumper on your car. It's not that dark kind of gray, muddled. Even unetched, we can see some of the differences in the metal. So I really say no. I really say no on that one. I would probably cut the other two, even though I know they're not. You never know. There might be something kind of exciting to see inside one of those. If you can get native metals that are like brecciated or distributed differently, they can be very pretty. What are these, though? They're not meteorites. I don't know what they are. Don't know. Native iron, hematite. Hematite can be magnetic. And then again, these are kind of mildly magnetic. So we'll check these out a little more. But I did actually, like I say, run through the... I got excited. I was like, oh, maybe I was wrong. Look at all the metal in there. And went and acided this one and was like, in the middle of it, I was like, what am I doing? I absolutely know better. But on the flip side, let's run the test. Let's be sure. Let's learn together. I'm learning, you're learning, we're learning new things together. We know now. We know now, though, without a doubt. I mean, trying to acid etch that was almost as silly as nickel testing that. It just isn't. It isn't, no matter how much I want it to be. It looks like magnetite, says Rick. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that input. I actually have a piece of magnetite in my collection, locally collected magnetite, and I checked all of this, and as far as I can tell, it's not magnetite. It's not, it's magnetically attracted. I mean, it attracts a magnet, but it doesn't work the other way around. I checked these to see if they would hold a paper clip or any other thing like that, and they will not. So could still be magnetite, but just not strong. Manny's here. He is. Well, good morning, Manny, to you from in the future, from the past. Industrial slag of some sort. That's very possible, Jennifer. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how delicious my coffee is today. I mean, I could tell you, but oh. And thank you, John, for the awesome tripod. Oh, and I wanted to say too that, like, look, I got this thing locked in now. Like, we are using this thing. And when I'm not using it, it just swings right out of the way. This thing is just the greatest thing since sliced bread. I love it. Love it. And look, now that we're done with it, we're just going to swing it right out of the way. Love it. Yes, thank you, John, for that. Now the only problem we have is that I've got the ring light plugged in on this one and not on the other one. Yeah, it's working out great. Like I said, just had to put it in a spot where it could really get a good grip. And I have the perfect spot, actually. I love that thing. It sets up in this little nook, like, perfectly. What about Campo de Cielo? I see a lot of it everywhere. You sure do. Rockin' in Kentucky. Yeah, you sure do. Yep, Campo's pretty common. We do see it this is not a Campo. But yeah, boss level tripod, absolutely. I agree. It looks a little bit like the iron ore I find here as well. Like I say, I don't know. My uncle does a lot of gold panning and metal detecting and things like that. These would have definitely set his metal detector off, and these would have definitely been the things, like heavy things that you would have like felt in your pan or that would have settled to the bottom. I mean, they're a bit large to have gotten out of your gold pan. But again, if you were metal detecting, that son of a gun would have probably squeaked on your metal detector. So I don't know if those are self-collected or if those are something that he had acquired and was just curious about them. You know, maybe they were gifted to him to have a closer look at, and he still was unconfident and sent them. I have no idea. I really wish I could give you a better background story on the who, what, where, when, why of how these got to his possession and then got to my possession. But again, they look like good looking meteor rungs. They really do. And so I wanted to check them out. They deserve a good thorough checking. Especially if that's a question that he had when he sent them. If he was like, hey, I wonder if she'll look at these for me. I don't want to outrightly ask because it's rude. You know, I don't know how he felt about it. I really don't. So, but I do feel it's my obligation to look at stuff like this. Again, the more of this stuff I look at, the more I'm going to be able to do a better job in identifying, you know, maybe that fall that fell just the other night that was all over the news when I woke up yesterday morning. I'd sure like to go look for that, but there's rules. You know, Rocky Mountain Bear asked, what if that fell in Glacier National Park? Because it kind of looks like it did. It very well could have. What if it fell on the Blackfeet Indian Reservation? Really wasn't far away from there either. I mean, there's kind of just a very narrow little strip of place that it could have actually landed that's not a national, you know, forest, Indian reservation, or a national park, or a, you know, the Bob Marshall Wilderness is over there. It's really a nasty, nasty part of Montana. It is so mountainy, so majestic right there. Like everything is big. Everything is big in that part of Montana. And so to find a, you know, tiny little space rock is like finding a needle in a haystack. So lots of work. I'm doing lots of work. Me, brother, everybody are doing lots of work over here to see if we can get it kind of narrowed down to where to maybe go look a little bit. And then to try to get the time in to go do that. You know, I can go on my days off, but I can't with as little information as I have, I can't with as little information as I have justify taking time off work to go wander around in the woods. So, and especially, like I say, if it fell somewhere where, if I found it, I'd have to leave it right where it laid and go ask for a special permit and get the government involved. You know, if it fell in Glacier National Park, the answer's no. Big capital N-O. No. National Park. No. However, they will and can. It's up to the Bureau of Land Management, national parks, all of them, if they want that collected for science or not. There is an option for collected for science. And that falls under the Antiquities Act. And again, you need a permit. So they will issue you a special permit. Can issue you a special permit for things like that. But my God, I wouldn't even know how to start to apply for those or who to ask. I do know who to ask. I know who to ask. But you have to find it first. And if you find it in the park, you got to leave it there until you get the permits. And could you do that? Could you do that? Ask yourself, could you do that? If you found a meteorite in a national park, could you leave it there, walk away, and go say, hey, guys want to talk about whether this is important to science or not, and whether we should collect some for science? It's not for me at that point in time, though. It's for science. It's not for monetary gain or collectors. It's for science. There's a lot of work that now goes into that. Where? Which university? Which curated meteorite facility takes this sample? Who classifies it? Who gets a piece of it to class? You know. So yeah, exactly. Pfft, right in I'd leave it right where I found it. I found it in my pocket. I swear. Found it right there in my pocket. Last place I looked for it was in my pocket, and that's where I found it. And is a metal meteor a stony? No, it's an iron. Might be easier to spot a metal one due to the melting marks on the surface. Okay, so right now, if you went out and looked for, it wouldn't matter what it was, whether it was carbonaceous iron, chondrite, or stony iron, it's going to have a black fusion crust on it today because it fell yesterday. It's going to have a black fusion crust on it for the next few days. It's raining outside. That's going to speed up the weathering process, that aqueous alteration. It's going to rust regardless. And it's going to wear away that fusion crust, which is thinner than an eggshell. Super thin. It's going to wear away that black fusion crust. And the longer it sits out here in the rain, especially, the more it starts to look like earth rocks around it. If it was carbonaceous, it's gone. Way to go, John. Thank you for that. That was awesome of you. Yes. I love that. Thank you, John, who just gifted memberships to people. I love that. Yes, because we got some footage we're working on for members only. And it's probably the senior prank that's got my fingers all greasy and black. And I about busted a knuckle the other night, too. I had to do the ouch dance and go breathe. I was like, woo, woo. You know, nothing like mechanic into bust a knuckle. So anyway, yeah, so hopefully stay tuned. There's already a members only video out. I think there's one already out that's, it pushes the boundaries of what's politically correct and where you find things in your pocket. Oh, it was Josh, not John. Well, thank you, Josh. Josh, you rock. But both of you guys rock. I mean, you all rock, not just both you guys, but. Hey, Jenny, I'm glad you stopped in to say hey to us. Sorry you can't stay. Glad that you were here for a minute, though. Made me smile just to see that you stopped in. It makes me smile when all you guys are here. Each and every one of you. It's Josh, not me. Everybody's all, thanks, Josh. I'm missing it. Obviously, not watching the chat. Thanks, you guys, for keeping me honest. Cheers. And if you guys haven't gone out and got yourself a Karen cup, you need to do it. The best part of waking up is drinking out of your Karen cup. So yeah, so much going on, but like, look at the smile on my face. Like, oh, what a great time of year. Like, we're finally moving out of those dark winter months, and there's, oh, the lilacs are thinking about blooming. We're gonna get out and do some rock hounding soon. There's all kinds of stuff coming up. The band's got some gigs scheduled out already. I'd like to get over to Rudyard for Dino Days. Yeah, thank you, Josh. I'd like to get over to Shota and do the Dino Dig. Just all kinds of stuff. Like, oh my gosh, how do you cram it all into one summer and still like go to your 9 to 5? And yeah, it's supposed to snow here today too, YO, and I reject your reality and I substitute my own. I have the back door open and the window was open earlier too. It's not snowing outside. No way. It's not raining. It's very nice out. Let's tell ourselves it's so nice out that I can barely make the decision of whether I should stay in and make jewelry today or go out rock hounding. It's a stay and make jewelry kind of day. Oh, shorts weather, Rufo. I wish. I wish. Yeah, not even. I sat up in the shop last night in my full winter coat. By the time I came home, I had to leave because my fingers were freezing. Yes, polishing stuff now is what I need to be doing, Rufo. I want to make so many dino bone things for that Dino Days in Rudyard that I can't even hardly stand it. And it's just like been at a stand still, an absolute pause. You guys want to see? I mean, it's been such a pause that rock that my brother helped me cut the last time he was up here is still in the saw, and all the sediment has settled in the bottom of the saw. Since I got the saw, this has never happened. It has never sat long enough for all of the sediment to settle down in the bottom. Look, I'm going to balance it on my head because that's a smart thing to do, because that's a good way to get saw oil in your hair. And we're going to turn around and we're going to zoom out. So you can actually see the oil on top and the sediment down below. And that same rock is in the saw, lined up, ready to go. And it's sat here so long that the sediments have settled in the bottom of this thing. It's never been done. Good time to scrape that up. I know, Rufo. Scrape it up, filter it out. Oh, at least 2 weeks. Shh, Aaron. Shh. Come on, man. Couldn't you have at least let my denial be like, it was only been like a week and 3 days. Just 2 weeks. Throw me under the bus, run me over, back up, and run me over again, Aaron. Yeah, it's a pretty rock. I should finish cutting it and get some dino bone in there. Ooh, the things that excite me. And then while it's cutting, I can be on the AMS reading the reports. So each one of those little reports on the AMS, like we were looking, that one that came from California, and it said which direction they were looking in degrees, and then if it went left or right. There's also a spot in there like you saw for, did you see it fragment? Did you hear any noise associated with it? things like that. So I like to go through each one of those. Rufo's asking, anyone else going live today, just in case you're listening and not looking at the chat? I think he's talking about you, Jeff. Who else in here would be doing that? Anybody know? Is anybody else going live today? I don't think so. Oh, Josh goes later this afternoon usually. Rufo. Anybody know what time Josh goes on Wednesdays? Thank you, Andrew. Good to see you. 5:30 Oregon time is what time Josh goes. So that's 4:30 my time, Rufo, if that helps you at all. Again, I never get to hang out with you, Josh, on Wednesday nights because I'm always doing the Meteor-maybe meeting, which I'm really looking forward to tonight because you know what we're going to be talking about for sure. Actually, we're having a special guest on tonight too, which I'm really excited about as well. So, but the pregame and the postgame, no, I'm an hour ahead of Josh. So it'll be 4:30 my time, 5:30 his time. Isn't it? No, 6:30 for me? Okay. Don't ask me. Geography's not my thing, guys. Time zones, I don't know why my phone doesn't just tell me every Wednesday night what time it is in Arizona, because I ask every stinking Wednesday, hey, what time is it in Arizona right now? Surprised it doesn't just offer me that information when it's about that time. Oh, yeah, I'm in a time warp. Totally. So yeah, I want to pick through those AMS reports. I want to make track of who could hear it, who couldn't hear it, that kind of thing. And then maybe build myself a little better map with some of those better details. Will I run out and hunt it? Like I say, I just don't have enough information yet. And I might not get that information yet. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. It was a magnificent event, seen from 2 different time zones, 5 different states in 1 province, and it looked like it was worth hunting. But if it fell in the national park, A, finding it's going to be hard. B, if you do find it, leaving it alone until you get permission to take it, it's going to be real, real hard. So, I don't know. It might just, might be swallowed up by the treasure state, forever lost to the mountains of Montucky. So, let's go back and recap. We had PrairieGirlRocks. And we had Meteor-maybe. And we had balls. Balls, balls, balls. We had Dorodango Balls. Ancient Japanese art of polishing clay balls. Check them out. If you haven't checked that out, you need to check that out. If you need to have one of these in your life, stay tuned. We may put one of these for sale or 2 of these for sale on the channel in the future. I don't know, I kind of like them. I don't know if I could ever share. Maybe. If I really liked you too, maybe I could share. That's a good one, Chris. Big balls. I got big balls. Do you got big balls? Does she got big balls? Does he got big balls? Who's got the biggest balls of them all? Oh. Yes, you do got to go back to the beginning, Lyle, so you can learn about Dorodango Balls. So, that was a lot going on today. Senior prank. I mean, like I say, I'm just covered it still. I can't get it off me. I did try. If I get a minute in between meteorite meeting and tonight, I'll go help them again. I don't know how much help I'm going to be to them tonight, honestly, because I am doing that. But I got all kinds of video yesterday of them just being absolutely hilarious. Why is one ball bigger than the other? I don't know, Aaron. I don't know. I'm definitely not a specialist, but I'll have a look at it and let you know what I think. Why is one ball bigger than the other? Because you can make them as small or as big as you want, but the idea is to get them kind of comfortable in your palm so that you can polish, right? You can, like I say, bigger or smaller, but you kind of want them palm comfy. So, but yeah, all kinds of good stuff. Yes, I hope that at least if I can't help them tonight, John, that at least, and I don't care if I have to leave the Meteor-maybe meeting to go do it. If they're putting it in the school tonight, then I'm going over there tonight to take pictures of it in the school. And if I can't get pictures, the kids can, and I will forward it and edit it into a video. For sure, for sure. Like, I'm so proud of them for putting the effort into just getting this far along. So, yeah, enjoy the Shrino Trevin really quick. What goes in must come out. I got to take a quick bio break and come back and sing the song. Look how Beezer's standing right in the way. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm so proud of them for even, thanks Jennifer, you have a good week, for even doing what they've done. So the sizes of these balls are also related to the size of the hand. Interesting. Yes, Bear, you got it. It's a dominant ball. Yeah. In a display on the mantle, opal guy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the more you fondle them, the more polishy they get, the more shiny they get. So definitely, you know, the more time you spend rubbing your balls, polishing your balls, the shinier they get. Did it really get banned? I don't know if it did or not, John. My kids have played with the clackers. Yeah. All I ever got was chafing. Yeah. You know? So put a piece of silk in between your hand and your ball to prevent chafing. What did I walk into, says Travis. Dorodango Balls. It's literally like, my significant other made them, and he literally dug dirt out of a gopher hole mound. A gopher mound. And you sift the dirt. You sift the dirt until it's the right texture, and then you start with like a cookie dough kind of texture, and you build a ball, and you get it as round as you can, or at least what your eye perceives as round. And then you start drying, and it takes 3 days of solid continual rubbing and drying and rubbing to get the ball to polish, dry, and be right. So it's not a quick process. You cannot make one of these in a day. It takes several days. It's a long process. But yeah, really, really neat. And for the first try, his was his first try. I'm so excited to see where we're going with this. I have ideas. I have things I want to try as well. I have some dirt. I could make one starting today, but I'm so busy doing other things that no, not today. And yeah, if you can make them smaller or bigger, you can make them out of any kind of mud or dirt. I mean, find different colors of dirt, different textures, and then just start rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and rubbing. Don't forget the sparkles. If you want your balls to sparkle, You just rub some sparkles in there. I don't know if that works or not. We're going to try it. So, yeah, Dorodango balls. Kind of a neat thing. I need some red clay from the eastern part of the state. Exactly. Y-O, exactly. I know, I kind of wondered about that too, Jeff. If you could get like a sphere polisher and just put like a, you know, I've got a piece that goes on the end of my drill and it's like a big puffy polishing pad. I suggested, I was like, you got 3 of those and put it in there, just you can polish it just like you would a rock. And Joseph is like, no, don't take away my fun in polishing my balls by hand. Like, we're no tools. So, and I agree, no tools. Let's do it by hand. That's the right way to do it. The balls are cool. I agree. I like the balls. A ShamWow would probably work too. Yeah, whatever you want. I think he started with a cotton and it was still kind of messy. And then he moved from cotton, like I say, up all the way up into a silk, piece of silk. So whatever you want to use to polish your balls, it's completely up to you. You can even, some people will even clear coat them and things when they're done, or wax them or oil them to make them extra shiny. He did not do that to these. These are just the way they are. But yeah, kind of a neat thing, kind of an interesting, wild, different thing. I know everybody should try to make a ball, and if you get one made, show us on the Discord. The natural look is the best. Yeah, this is just a red dirt, like Wyo said. Just a red clay dirt, but boy, it didn't take a lot. He sprinkled the first, he mixed it in with the dirt. Hey, hobo, you missed balls. Balls, you missed balls. They're called Dorodango balls. So he just put a little bit, like I say, then you'll sprinkle it with the sand and then rub and sprinkle in. Would waxing them make them Brazilian? Bear. But-ump-ump. All right, so he put just a little bit of the red clay in here and went for it and was like, oh, it didn't even do anything. Like, absolutely nada. And so he put red clay right on it and rubbed it and went, oh, God, it's really, really red. So, again, you got to learn a little as you go. I love balls. Those are some nice balls, says Hobo. Thank you, Hobo. I couldn't agree more. So Dorodango is just the ancient Japanese art of polishing a mud ball or a clay ball. You just rub it until it polished. So, yeah, kind of a cool thing. And I liked it. Like, when he first brought them, they were still kind of tacky, and I just sat and watched TV and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed. I kind of liked it. It was kind of meditative. So, that's right. Rubbing his balls was kind of meditative. So, yeah, right, Chris? Yeah, I like the texture on the gray one. It, like somebody had said, like a ostrich egg kind of texture. You could see all the little fingerprints, and again, we dropped it, whoopsies. But not bad for the first try. Put azurite in it, right, so that it'll glow, fluoresce. Exactly, I agree, Jeff, agree. Balls are zen, yes. So yeah, I mean, there's so many things you could do. Cinnabar, if you put the cinnabar into balls, try not to lick the balls later, okay? Okay, glad we got that out of the way. All right, let's sing the song, you guys. Like I say, so much going on. The graduation was awesome. There was lots of laughs. Oh my gosh, I got to tell you guys too. Just one more little feel-good thing. So, my oldest son was lucky enough to not have an 8th grade graduation due to COVID. So this is his first real graduation experience. And his whole first year of high school, his whole freshman year was all done online. A lot of it done online. And so as a class, they really kind of pushed the boundaries of what learning could be and had to be. But one thing that one of their teachers had done on one of their online classes was ask them, part of their writing project was ask them, what are your plans for this summer? And so they have got this short-term goal of what they're going to do this summer. And where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? And where do you see yourself in 10 years from now? And a lot of them were like, oh, this summer I'm going to read a lot of books, or I'm going to go camping, or I'm going to play with my friends, or whatever their plan was for this summer, short-term goal. A lot of their 5-year goals were like graduate from high school and be attending my first year of college. Things like that. Blue, we need to make a blue ball. I agree. And then their 10-year plan was, be working in a career that I love and possibly starting a family, So they had, it sounds about right, a lot of them. And so it's neat that, like, she literally asked them that 5 years ago. And now 5 years later, she's sharing their answers with us. And it gets to this kid in the class, his name is Carter. It gets to Carter's answer. And Carter's answer, it's so suitable for COVID times. Carter's answer to all 3 questions was staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. Well played, sir. Well played. Oh, God. Oh, gosh. Who knew? That joke took 5 years for that pun to really, like, bam! Staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. Oh, my God. What's your plan for this summer? Staying alive. How about 5 years from now? Staying alive. How about 10 years from now? Staying alive, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Woof. Give me just a second. Holy shit. It was funny in the graduation. It's still funny now. Oh, these kids. I can't get enough of them. They're so funny. Oh, my God. They're so funny. Oh, gosh. Anyway, on that note, let's try to sing the song between the great big smile on our faces and hopefully happy hearts today, guys. Hopefully you had a wonderful time hanging out here. Where's my cup? Ah! Ah, the best part of waking up is drinking out of your Karen cup. Staying alive. I love that, John. John says, a lot of people don't know this, but when you're performing CPR, the best song to do the beat to is Staying Alive. 120 beats per minute. Yes. All right, guys. Let's see. Pink, blue, green. I don't have a green one or a red one. Here's a red one. And yellow one. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Did you, Ryan? I love that. Oh, gosh. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, really. I know your time is valuable and I appreciate you choosing to spend your time here with me today. And here we go, guys. Sing along if you know. Pretty rocks out on the prairie. Pretty rocks are everywhere. Pretty rocks for us to look at. Pretty rocks are everywhere. There's a pink one and a green one and a blue one and a yellow one. And they all are very pretty and they all are everywhere. Thank you, guys. Just remember, love is like a fart. If you have to force it, it might be shit. All right, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.